How's it going, everybody? It's Scrabetown back with another Battlefield update video. We are here in Battlefield 4.1.0, so our first major update of Season 4 of Battlefield 2042. There is a new Leviathan special event that's going to be the mid-season event, and also some new Tier 1 skin challenge tweaks for our operators. So let's get right into it. There's a lot to go through. So the post of the update basically reads this for the Leviathan update. A special division has begun to stir. The next mid-season event is just around the corner. You can expect brand new theme cosmetics to earn alongside the ability to jump into a new mode that will task you with getting up close and personal with your enemy. But for now, one question remains. Will you be able to shut down the Leviathan in time? So it looks like we'll be getting a new close quarters game mode, and also there is an update lower in the list of tweaks and changes that I think kind of tips their hand of what the new game mode will be. But this is kind of interesting because we're going to get a new faction involved, and it won't just be the no-pats and or the Russians or the Americans or the Marines or whatever, so we're going to get a little more, I guess, lore for the world of Battlefield 2042, which is always welcome because it always kind of helps to play the game if you know what you're fighting for and fighting against, stuff like that. So we're going to go into the new portal guns that are getting added to the game. So the AEK-971, a favorite of Battlefield 4 and Battlefield 3, but specifically in Battlefield 4 was the meta, the highest fire rate assault rifle in the game, probably the most used one, especially in like the professional scene for Battlefield, even though I know it's not very big. It was used basically solely. Hopefully it can combat the KP9's rate of fire. The RPK-74M, one of the cooler looking assault or LMGs in all of Battlefield, I think. It's such a sleek, cool design to it. It's also going to be magazine fed, so hopefully it will be able to be reloaded faster. And the MP443 pistol, a classic sidearm in all Battlefield games. I'm pretty sure we've seen that weapon in every single Battlefield game. We're also going to be getting some skins and more attachments for the portal weapons, which honestly, for me personally, is very welcome because I'm one of those people that like to 100% the game in a sense of like in Battlefield 4, you would get like the last service star where you have to get like 1,000 kills or something like that with a weapon. And I'm doing that now with all the guns, and being able to equip new skins and stuff like that onto the portal weapons and unlock them through the same way that you unlock regular skins is much appreciated, and I'm going to look forward to that because I actually really enjoy using like the M416 and stuff like that. So here are some other updates. The IBA armor plate overhaul. So basically this new update is going to make it so that the armor plate only defends your torso. So shots to the arms, legs, and head will not be protected by the armor plating, essentially. So really, I guess if you see an assault class, aim for the head. This will basically just make it a little easier to kill those assault guys. Again, it's difficult to tell if people are wearing the chest protector, but, I'll take it. Some chat improvements. The background opacity decoupling, which allows for text to remain strong while lowering the opacity of the background. And if the opacity is below 20%, the text will glow. And there are some color formatting changes. This is pretty welcome, I think, because that little box that surrounds the text, I think, has kind of gotten in the way of me playing the game once or twice. I'm going to put a real rundown of what is actually going on with it, because I don't think I described it very well right there. It's kind of confusing. And here, there's a big, long list of gameplay improvements. So I'm going to read off the ones that I thought were the most useful, but there's a big list. Again, I'm going to link it down below, and I will actually do it this time. So there is an increase in XP earned when destroying an EOD bot. You will earn objective fortified XP for placing gadgets such as an ammo crate, claymore mines, and etc. on a friendly objective area. We will earn objective revive XP when reviving a teammate inside an objective area on the breakthrough game mode only. Resolved an issue that would break crawling and prone with a throwable gadget in hand. It's never happened to me, but I'm sure that's very frustrating. Melee damage has been fixed if you were dragging the mouse in any direction before the hit occurred. And if you hit an enemy while climbing a ladder, it will deal 50 HP of damage, so just the regular amount if you're not doing the execution. Reduce delay of the sprint when barging through doors, and you will also be able to barge through doors while sliding. And they have fixed an issue that would sometimes result in sliding to gain unintended acceleration. Like I said, there's a lot more than that, so I'm going to put that link to it in the description. So these are the mastery improvements. This is really all of them here. These are kind of important too. I think it's a big change up for how mastery works. So adjusted Sundance's mastery requirement from 30 to 20 kills and assists with smart explosives. So, to get that tier 1, you have to get a whole bunch of those mastery medals. I'm not sure how many you need to get, but you need to get a lot of them. So this just reduces it pretty significantly. They also adjusted Crawford's mastery requirement from 50 to 30 kills and assists with the mounted Vulcan machine gun. They also adjusted Zane's mastery requirement from 50 to 30 kills and assists with the XM370A. They updated Liz's mastery requirement from 10 vehicles destroyed with the G84 TGM to 10 kills when destroying a vehicle with the G84. So this is really welcome, because if you watch my gameplay in the background, I basically only play as Liz. Whenever I played a Battlefield game, I've always focused on the vehicles, because the vehicles control Battlefield. They always have, and they always will. They're the strongest thing in the field, so I always try to focus on taking them out. I basically only ever played Engineer on any of the other games, so I play her constantly because I think that she's incredibly useful for taking down helicopters and stuff like that. So if you shoot down like an Osprey or destroy a tank with 4 people inside, that's 4 kills added to the mastery level, not just 1 vehicle destroyed, which will make leveling her up so much faster. It's not even funny. So that's really great. For me personally, I'm welcome to that. So they have also changed Dozer's mastery requirement from 20 kills with the ballistic shield to 40 close quarter kills. So that's a big change up. You don't have to try and slap people with the shield anymore. You just have to kill people from close quarters, which is a nice change, I'm sure, for Dozer players. Now we're going to look at some audio fixes. There's a lot of them. Again, I'm just going to list off a few of them. There's a higher dynamic range to the HDR audio, and also there is an improved audio that plays when various vehicle projectiles are flying by you, such as air-to-ground missiles, 40 to 30 millimeter cannons, kinetic grenade pods, and etc. So this is basically just going to allow people in vehicles and on the ground to understand what kind of bullet is coming by us to kind of gauge what we're going up against here. Some gadget changes, once again, is a big list, but I'm just going to go through some of the main points. Friendly claymores are now displayed on the minimap. The tracer dart can no longer lock on through large environmental objects, so if you tag a heli with your dart gun and it goes behind like a building or a mountain or something like that, you can no longer lock onto it with a recoilless or a javelin or anything like that. Also, the tracer dart can now lock onto stealth helicopters even when they are in stealth mode. So this is a major counter to the stealth heli meta, essentially, that these helicopters control the air. So if you hit it with a tracer dart, it can be locked onto with any rocket launcher, which is really awesome. A bug has been removed where you could disable claymores through walls. That hasn't happened to me before, but I'm sure that's welcome. The EOD bot. So this is a major thing here that I think is going to tell us what the new game mode is. The EOD bot will no longer be able to defuse MCOM stations. So you can arm a station, but you can't disarm a station. So I think that that's kind of telling that, like, I feel like and I'm sorry, afterwards it says that it will be enabled in the future. So they're disabling it for right now, and they're going to enable it back in the future. So I think that's pretty obvious that this is going to be something with a Rush game mode, which I'm all for because I always really love Rush as a game mode. So these are specialist gadgets up next. Angel's loadout crate can no longer be called on top of vehicles or in bushes. Blasco's infiltration device will now display correctly while the big map is open, and some voice line corrections. Casper's recon drone now deals damage to claymores, C5 anti-tank grenades, and proximity sensors, and can also EMP the spawn beacon from the EBLC RAM. Falk can no longer heal the Ranger with the Surrett pistol. That's just kind of funny that that could even happen. And Irish's APSO 36 can now intercept the Ghostmaker R10's explosive bolt. So some weapon updates as well. Has been if an issue has been fixed where players could get stuck in a melee attack loop while repeatedly pressing both melee attacks and the weapon fire at the same time. That has happened to me, and it's unbelievably frustrating when it does. So I'm glad for that change. The M24O Bravo or OB will now have the correct headshot multiplier of 2 times. I'm not sure what it was before. I know the assault rifle headshot multiplier is 2.1, so maybe it's just been brought down a little bit. And shooting the RM68 will now display you on the minimap when using non-suppressor barrels. I didn't even know that it wouldn't show you if you were using like a compensator, so I guess that's gone. Sniper rifles also will now have a dispersion penalty while moving, so they're enforcing standing still while shooting your sniper rifle. And some vehicles stuff as well. They've fixed an issue that would cause the overheat crosshair to grow in size when swapping between primary and secondary weapons, and players' legs will no longer be visible in the CAV brawler when the player is crouched, and gadgets can no longer be deployed while you're inside the CAV brawler. Which I kind of think is a mistake because I like shooting the Liz's rocket launcher out of the back if I was ever in it. So those are the updates. Those are the major updates for the new update for Battlefield. Some very welcome changes in our first major update, and we got to look forward to our new mid-season event. Thank you so much for stopping by. My name is Scrapetown, and tune in next time for more Battlefield news.